The first one I'm going to take a look at, we've discussed it briefly in another video, is Classic, the Richard Hannon trained horse. We touched on it when it got beat by the Foxes, another horse that we think shows a little bit of potential in what could prove to be a fair race, possibly. But we're interested in this race here on the 26th of August, which is when the horse actually won. Third time out. You'll see it's another one really that's been running to quite a high level outside of Pattern Company. You will see when the pattern races that we've looked at, that sort of form at Royal Ascot, I've probably got it in the top 6 in a pattern race at Royal Ascot. But obviously as the season progresses, the ratings go higher. Now this horse has probably got a bit to find. The pedigree, I think it'll always be an interesting pedigree. People will see there that it's by Dubawi. The dam is where it gets interesting because Date with Destiny, she was the only living foal out of George Washington, who was unfortunately fertile and was sent back to race and unfortunately lost his life at the Breeders' Cup afterwards, on the dirt. And this foal here that was listed place is the only foal that he actually foaled successfully. So I do think it is interesting just through that. What have we got in the pedigree? Well, it's an interesting pedigree more than that, I'd say. The Classic herself is actually half sister to a Group 1/5, Group 3 unlisted winner called Beautiful Morning. And the dam, as we said, Date with Destiny, as Group 2 5th listed place. She herself is half sister to a Group 3 winner called Ombre Laguerre. And that is the dam of a horse that was placed in a Group 1 and won a Group 3 in Japan called Germinal. And also US Group 1 and a dual French Group 3 placed Florley. Another dam. She is actually the dam of the 2006 French Derby placed Group 3 unlisted winner, best named, and a German Group 3 winner called February Sun. Third dam is a half sister to a Group 3 and a Group 3 placed dual listed winner, and 2009 French champion jump stallion Video Rock. Now, so I had a few good jumpers that did, obviously, but it did. Fifth dam was placed in the Group 3 1975 Lancashire Oaks, and the fourth dam is also the second dam of the 2013 Qatar champion Older Male and Stallion. Very nice name. She's standing as a stallion in France. Not really being used much, but it is a stallion out in France. So with that pedigree, there's obviously very small classic form in there and a bit of global form as well. But I think it's an interesting horse, because really just because of the Date with Destiny thing, it's one I've spotted at the time, and I think it's worth having a look, see if they can get any pattern races with it. Let's watch it win at Newmarket. Sell that just by looking at it. Right, sorry, I confused myself there. I persuaded myself this was a 3-runner race, and it actually won by 3 lengths in a 7-runner race. Here is the race anyway at Newmarket.
Let's see how it pans out. Let's go up to Mark.
And they're off. Obelix and the other newcomer, Emperor Zen, quite slowly away. So too War Chant. And as I go through the early stage of the best bet with Jennings Bet British EBF Novice Stakes, it is Dartman who takes on the favourite Classic in the early stages. They're being followed by Berkshire Phantom over on the far side, and towards the near side is Dream of Mischief. Break of a couple of lengths to Obelix, who's in front of War Chant, and the back marker is Emperor Zen as they race on now down towards the halfway point. Classic, the favourite, now takes a clear lead, moves on by a length to Dartman towards the near side in second. In the slipstream of the leader to the far side is Berkshire Phantom, who is just in third, Dream of Mischief in fourth with 3.5 furlongs to go. Obelix is in fifth, War Chant is in sixth, and still Emperor Zen is last of the 7, and they're racing now inside the final 3 furlongs, and Classic still has the lead. To Dartman, Obelix now begins to loom between rivals. Over on the far side, Berkshire Phantom, and towards the near side, Dream of Mischief is beginning to pick up, and these 5 now have kicked clear of War Chant and also Emperor Zen. They're racing down into the dip, a furlong and a half to go. Classic has the lead. Obelix giving chase now in second. Then in third is Dart Man, and they're racing now towards the final half furlong. Classic has the lead and he's drawing clear on the run to line. In the hands of Pat Dobbs, it is Classic goes clear to win. In second is Obelix, and in third, Dart Man.
The Classic shows everyone what he's made of with an all-out and very impressive performance here at Newman.
I mean, it won well enough, didn't it? I personally thought it was more impressive when it got beat by the Foxes than that. It travelled better that day. But people look at the form of it, and they'll see that if it finds another 10, it could be a pattern class horse. On the distant pedigree, it took me an actual while to actually find this one. I had to go all the way back onto the last page because I couldn't find any of these dams. I did find the 6th dam, Pinky Melody and Lusignan. Now they are around here. Look, Lusignan and Dinky Melody on family 7E. I don't think we're following any more 7Es. We'll have a quick look. I'd be fairly certain that we weren't. No, none at all, as I suspected. It's a funny old line, this. I couldn't make a lot out of it. You know, there's a Kentucky Oaks winner there in 1949. It just seems to stop. There's a Swedish Derby winner in 1970 again. Even there, we're down to 1957. 1985, Australian Guineas winner Kenwood Melody. A few other Australian horses in the 60s. Big in Hungary around just underneath us. Japanese Oaks winners in the 60s, Guineas winner. But there's not a lot in the 80s and 90s that people would remember. Irish Oaks winner there in 1976. Someone must remember that one, Lagunet. You know, but apart from that, there doesn't seem to be much encouragement really. Preakness winner there in 1959. Yeah, Cavalieri, Derby winner in New Zealand, 1981. And it's one that really hasn't really done a lot recently. It's very short compared to some of them. So that has to go down as a slight negative, I suppose. We obviously now found this site. I like it to validate that our horse is actually related to a lot of decent classic winners. And on this one, you know, it's hard to find them. This lady did a fantastic job. She didn't really find that many. But we'll give it a go anyway, because like I said, it's travelled well once I've seen it. It's won the race there. And I think it's a horse, due to the pedigree of it, with the dam sire being George Washington. I think it's one they will try and get pattern form with. Centre there, you see, in the Royal Lodge and the Dewhurst. You know, you see, so they are aiming for the very top of it. And it has travelled well. You know, so we need to see where the ceiling of the horse is, I think, and give it a chance.